Hi, how's it going, guys? For those of you who are new here, I'm Jaluna. I do a lot of different kinds of content, or plan to do a lot of different kinds of content. I don't have many videos right now, but I am an avid gamer, which is what today's video is actually about. I am sorry if I seem like I have a speech impediment. I don't do well with talking most of the time. But I'm going to talk to you about my favorite games today, and I'd love to get to know you guys too, so comment down below your favorite games, and if you've played the games on my list, cool. If you haven't, maybe you'll try them out, if you can afford them. Sadly, games are not all free. So, let's get started, I guess. The first game that I want to start with is Homework Salesman. Homework Salesman is an RPG Maker game. It's free. I don't know if it's finished yet. I think it is, though. I've never beaten it, actually. I'm still in the middle of playing and trying to get to beat the first boss, and the first boss is extremely hard. But what I love about this game is it kind of has elements of Rune Factory, I would say. It is a game where you fight creatures, you get all sorts of crafting methods, and you have to level up your crafting methods to get certain things. You can give gifts to townspeople. You can have a relationship with the townspeople that way. And also, it's just a really funny game. There's always some form of humor involved, sometimes dark humor, but mostly just really silly stuff going on. So that's Homework Salesman. I highly recommend it. It's free. I spend so much time playing that game, guys. I've probably been wasting my life with it. Next off, I'm going to talk about another game that's probably wasting my life, which is 100% Orange Juice. 100% Orange Juice is a lot like Mario Party. This is how I describe it. It's Mario Party on a sugar high. There's a deck of cards that you draw from every so often, and the cards will have effects like skip a turn or give you extra attack power because you can attack people in this game. You can get cards that randomly attack people or do other things like give you free coins if you step on it. And by coins I mean stars. In the game, the currency is stars. Everything is stars. But I also really like the characters of the game because every character has different stats. They have different special abilities. There's one character who literally, her playstyle is you have to go for wins and beat up your fellow players because otherwise it's going to take a long time for you to get to the end and win. You play by trying to complete normas, which are either wins or stars, and for most characters, stars works well. It's only one character that literally you can't go for stars. It will not let you. Another game that's related to this game that I really enjoy also is called 200% Mixed Juice. But unlike Orange Juice, it's a bit more of a, I want to say it's a visual novel almost. It's not, but it has elements of one. You do fight, but you fight using rock, paper, scissors concepts. So you have people who are primarily rock type, and you can have a person who's a scissor type win either way just because they have an attack that's paper. It really is a luck of the draw thing to some extent, and it's also just really funny. The storylines in Orange Juice and Mixed Juice are just hysterical and kind of stupid. But I highly recommend them both. If one of the nice things about Mixed Juice is if you get it and you have Woj, you can play a different character in Orange Juice than you would be able to otherwise because the company that makes Orange Juice makes a lot of bullet hell games and other games like 200% Mixed Juice, and a lot of those games, if you own them on Steam, along with 100% warranty, you unlock special characters. It's really cool. Anyway, I'm wasting time on this when I should be continuing, shouldn't I? The next game I want to talk about is one that actually I only bought today when I'm filming this video. Is called Gurumin, A Monstrous Adventure. Gurumin is actually a game I played before. I just never had it on the computer because I didn't know for sure it was on the computer, or rather I forgot until it came on sale on Steam and I was reminded I had it on my wish list. I originally played Gurumin on the PSP. It is a game that is a real-time battle game, as in you have to actually move around and stuff as you fight. It's not like you get turn-based battles. The graphics are really good. The story is interesting from my memory, and I really like how it's a concept of how different people can get along, because it's about a little girl who makes friends with the monsters who live on the other side of the wall in a small town, mining town, with no other kids. So she makes friends with monsters instead. She has to help save them from evil phantoms. And one of the best things I think about the game on Steam is actually that you get to hear the voices, which I like a lot. I usually don't care about things like hearing the voices, but for some reason, it just adds to the brilliancy that is Gurumin. So, it's not a very expensive game. I got it today because it was on sale for 57% off. So it was like $4.29 before tax. I highly recommend it. I'm not sponsoring it. I'm not being sponsored by it. I just have a lot of games on Steam, and I like talking about games. Anyway, next up, Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is a game that's basically Harvest Moon or Rune Factory, but different. It has a lot of things that you can do. You can craft things of your own, everything from scarecrows to treasure chests that you use as storage, etc. You can do a lot of crafting. You can go mining where all the monsters are. As I said, it's like Rune Factory also. It has monsters for you to fight. It's just more like... Actually, it's more like Harvest Moon DS and DS Cute. Because I remember at a certain level of the mines, you started having, like, creatures that would hurt you. So, it might be more like that. But, Stardew Valley is a good game. It has interesting characters, a unique storyline, and I just really enjoy it. I enjoy being able to personalize my farm more than I could in any other game. I enjoy the adventure aspect of it, of going into the mines and fighting. I enjoy being able to get along with the townspeople to some extent. I'm too lazy to make friends with them usually, but it's still really fun. It's just a really fun game, and I highly recommend it if you like Harvest Moon. Let's see. One more Steam game, and then I'm going on to two games that aren't on Steam at all, that I know of. This game is Fate. Fate is a role-play game that is very randomized. No playthrough is ever the same, I've found. You are an adventurer who goes into the, I want to say caves, where there are lots of monsters and stuff. You have to do things for the townspeople who give you quests of look for this and I'll give you that. Fight all these monsters and I'll give you something else. So it's mostly just following quests, but also trying to get to the bottom of this cave, like very last level. And I've never done that part. But what I really like is you get a pet that helps you, and you can personalize your pet by feeding it different kinds of fish. So while you only have an option of a cat or a dog, you suddenly have the option of having a spider, which I did for a while, or any other monster, actually, I think, basically. I'm sure there's a slime one, because there's a lot of slimes in Fate. Like, there are so many different kinds of them. There's tons of them physically on a floor at a given time. Same with spiders and rats. And I'm pretty sure you can turn your pet into any of them, either temporarily or permanently, by feeding them fish. Yes, that's right. You feed them fish and they turn into creatures. Besides those, I do want to talk a little bit about Minecraft and The Sims 4, both of which I like for similar reasons. Minecraft, I got right before my trip to Arizona in August. It's fun because you can play with other people, potentially, if you want to. I'm part of a server that is hosted by a forum I use, and also an admin on meowspad.org. Wow, I'm really doing well today. But meowspad.org is a great place, and I don't get paid to say this, I'm just admitting it. It's a great place, and we have a server for Minecraft, and I will never be able to build anything as nearly as awesome as some of the other people in that server. It kind of almost makes me feel a little down that I'm a creative type, and yet I don't have the patience or thought process to make these incredible structures. But it's great for inspiration. I'm still learning how mods work, but it's really good for those. You can play realms with other people also, which I do with my boyfriend. And in single player, it took me a while to figure out how to change from peaceful to peaceful from regular gameplay. I always play on peaceful. I know, I'm lame like that. But I don't know what to say really, besides it's almost like a classic, and I know a lot of people play it already anyway, and I still think it's a great game, and it's good for writers actually, because I have built little towns to try to get an idea of the layout of a town in my stories. Of course, I didn't know how to use mods yet. I still barely understand them, and usually I build those in creative mode, but I actually get ideas in survival mode too. What would my characters do in this situation where they have nothing and have to rely on their hands? You know? It's actually a pretty interesting thing to think about. What would your characters do if they were stuck in Minecraft? Anyway, the final game I'm going to talk about today is The Sims 4. I had problems with The Sims 3 in that it literally kept destroying my computer when I was young. And so I was a little skeptical about Sims 4, but I got it free because they had a freebie day, and God am I happy I took a chance on it. It works beautifully on my computer. It is a lot of fun getting custom content and making buildings and being able to make my character houses just more realistic to their taste. I go through custom content a lot. I'm constantly looking for more. And that's basically what I love about it, is the creativity of it. And honestly, sometimes I just watch my characters go about their day and see things that they would do, because you put in a couple of parts of their personality, and those core parts will lead them to do certain things you would never realize they would do. And so it's a really good way for character building, it's really good for scene building, and it's also just a lot of fun. I mean, Sims are always fun. You never know what they're going to do. You never know if they're going to blow their house down on accident. It's just nuts. But that is the end of my list, I believe. Thank you for watching through this extremely long video. I hope you learned about games you've never heard of. Maybe you might want to try them. Or if you have the games, I hope you'll tell me and maybe we can play together sometime. And if you have any idea for videos in the future that you would like me to do, just give me a comment and I will make sure I at least try. And that's that, basically. Again, I'm Jelena Rolick, and I have loved being here with you today. Take care.